We've all seen those viral videos of entitled customers throwing tantrums, but when it's a male Karen, oh, it's a whole different level of cringe. From explosive meltdowns over expired coupons to full-on screaming matches with minimum wage workers, these moments are as shocking as they are ridiculous. Get ready for some of the worst customer freakouts that prove some people just shouldn't be allowed in public. Rude customer versus fed-up driver. A woman orders food through Deliveroo, but there's a problem. It's freezing outside, and she refuses to go downstairs to pick it up. Instead, she insists the driver bring it straight to her doorstep. However, due to health and safety regulations, the driver isn't allowed to do that. The customer refuses to accept this, threatening to report him if he doesn't comply. The tension escalates into a heated argument until the driver finally snaps. Instead of continuing the back and forth, he does something no one expected. He starts eating her food right in front of her. The woman is beyond furious, watching her meal disappear bite by bite. In a fit of rage, she even threatens to beat him up.
Go on, I'm recording. Go on, try eat my food. Go on, go on. Big man from Deliveroo, yeah? Go on, eat my food then. Stupid man. Yeah, go on. Yeah, eat that. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on your face.
This Wendy's customer completely lost it after waiting 20 minutes for her burger. And she wasn't about to let it slide. What started as frustration quickly escalated into a full-blown meltdown. She didn't just take her anger out on the employees. She went after another customer, getting in their face and hurling insults at anyone who dared to respond. The more people tried to calm her down or explain the delay, the more aggressive she became, refusing to listen to reason. The restaurant staff tried to defuse the situation, but this customer had already made up her mind. She was going to make a scene. Her loud, furious rant drew the attention of everyone in the restaurant, creating an uncomfortable and chaotic atmosphere. But, in the end, her tantrum didn't do her any favors. Instead of sympathy, she was met with one final response: her food was handed over, and she was told never to return.
Never come back to my... I don't have to! Have a good day. God bless you!
Duck sauce. A simple request for duck sauce turned into a full-blown clash when this woman decided to throw insults instead. She called me out of my name, he insists, as tensions rise. They say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words should never hurt you, unless of course you don't get your duck sauce.
I asked for some duck sauce. This woman called me a bitch. She called me out my name. Yes.
Then, it's no laughing matter. But neither is what's about to unfold next. Speaking of clashes, when you've been grinding through 12-hour shifts, a well-deserved win should be in order. Unfortunately, someone here is about to lose more than just their patience, maybe even their job. As someone who's been through the struggle of minimum wage work, I gotta say, I respect the hustle. A bit harsh? Maybe, but at least it's not as cringe as what's coming up next. Entitled passenger refuses to follow airline rules. Gets entire family banned from flying. Imagine this. You're on a packed flight, ready for takeoff when suddenly, the flight is delayed because of one difficult passenger. That's exactly what happened when a woman, now being labeled as a Karen, decided she wasn't going to follow the airline's mask policy. At the time, airlines had strict rules requiring all passengers, including children, to wear masks. Seems simple enough, right? Well, not for this woman. When the flight crew provided her with a mask for her young child, she flat out refused, insisting the child was too young to wear one. The crew patiently explained the policy and warned her that if she didn't comply, she would have to leave the plane. But instead of just putting the mask on her child and moving on, she dug in her heels and started arguing. Back and forth, she debated with the crew, causing a scene and delaying the flight for everyone on board. Despite multiple chances to follow the rules, she refused, leaving the airline with no choice but to remove her and her entire family from the flight. And it didn't stop there. Because of her actions, they were placed on a no-fly list, meaning they wouldn't be able to book flights with that airline in the future. But here's the kicker. When she was finally being escorted off, she turned to the passengers and dramatically apologized, claiming she never wanted to delay their flight. What do you think? Was the airline being too strict? Or did she bring this on herself? Watch the clip and decide for yourself.
Once I close the door, my pay is not let me open the door.
NFL Karen Jerry Edmond attended his first ever NFL game to watch his beloved New England Patriots take on the Las Vegas Raiders in Paradise, Nevada. While the heartbreaking last-minute loss was tough, it wasn't the only thing he'd remember from that night. A Raiders fan aggressively taunted him, rubbing the victory in his face and claiming the stadium as her own. Despite another fan's attempt to pull her away, she continued her rant, even confronting him about cheering for the Patriots in her stadium. Confused but composed, Jerry tried to keep his words in check, though he admits to a little back-and-forth banter. The entire exchange was caught on video and quickly went viral, not because of the hostility, but because of Edmond's remarkably calm and classy response under pressure. His boys didn't go unnoticed. To make up for the unfortunate experience, Patriots owner Robert Kraft personally invited him to a VIP suite at Gillette Stadium to watch the Patriots take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Passenger refuses to leave over denied drink. A routine American Airlines flight from St. Louis to Chicago turned into a spectacle when a passenger flat out refused to leave the plane simply because he was denied a pre-flight gin and tonic. The drama unfolded when a white male passenger didn't take too kindly to a flight attendant's refusal to serve him the drink he felt entitled to. Things escalated quickly, with the flight crew calling in the police as the man stood his ground, refusing to budge from his first-class seat. Fellow passengers, fed up with the delay, were more than happy to point out his luggage to authorities, hoping to speed up his exit. But even with officers surrounding him and his bags being removed, the man clung to his seat, adamant that he wasn't going anywhere. With no other choice, police took a more hands-on approach, literally dragging him off the plane as he protested, losing a shoe in the process. Talk about a Cinderella moment. This bizarre incident is just one of many. In 2019, there were 146 reported FAA incidents involving unruly passengers. But after the pandemic, that number skyrocketed to nearly 1,100 in 2021 alone. No wonder airlines are pushing for Congress to crack down on disruptive passengers. But here's the real question. How would you react if a flight attendant denied you your pre-flight drink? Would you take the loss or take a stand? Passenger clashes with Delta crew. Over. Water? Tension soared on a recent Delta Airlines flight when a frustrated passenger locked himself in a heated exchange with the flight crew, all over a bottle of water. According to the stewardess, the passenger had difficulty throughout the flight, causing disruptions and being generally unpleasant. When he later requested to purchase a large bottle of water, the crew, already exhausted from dealing with him, refused to engage further, but he wasn't backing down. "I just want a bottle of water," he insisted. "I'll buy one, or I'll get one either way. It's not vodka, it's just water." As the situation escalated, a second airline employee had to step in, warning the passenger that if he didn't calm down, the flight could be diverted, and he'd be removed by authorities. "I will land this airplane in the middle of the country, and have you removed by police if I have to," the crew member stated firmly. The passenger, however, maintained that he was calm and wasn't causing a disturbance, just requesting water. So, was this an overreaction by the crew, or was the passenger being unreasonable? Watch the exchange and decide for yourself.
I'm very calm. I just want water.
I will land the airplane in the middle of this country, have you removed by police if I have to. Are you going to be quiet? Are you going to be happy the rest of the flight?
What kind of questions? I'm not doing anything violent. I'm not raising my voice. I just want water.
Celebrity Karen. Even reality stars aren't immune to the dreaded Air Karen title. This time, 90 Day Fiancé's Angela Dean found herself at the center of travel drama, with eyewitnesses claiming she ruined other passengers' trips. A short video surfaced online, allegedly showing Angela in a heated argument with flight attendants. While it's unclear what sparked the confrontation, she could be heard yelling, "You are not law enforcement," and insisting that the crew member started it. That alone makes it pretty easy to guess who was in the wrong. Rumors swirled that she was either kicked off the flight or left voluntarily, but no official confirmation ever came. One thing's for sure, her reputation took a hit online. And if there's any justice in the world, that flight attendant got a well-deserved raise. Maskless Karen. This entitled passenger refused to wear the mask provided by the airline, and as a result, she wasn't allowed to fly. After nearly an hour of holding up the entire flight, she was finally escorted off the plane. But the real kicker? As she made her humiliating exit, the entire cabin erupted in applause, giving her the send-off she deserved. Clearly flustered, she turned around, desperate to fire back with some snarky remarks, but no one cared. The passengers drowned her out with cheers as she stepped off the plane and straight onto the airline's no-fly list. Frustrating fast food experience at Arby's. So, I pull up to Arby's in Winder, place my order, 15 minutes go by, and my food is still nowhere in sight. Meanwhile, I see two people who ordered after me get their meals first. At this point, I'm done waiting. I ask for a refund, and guess what happens? Suddenly, my food magically appears. But by now, I don't even want it. I'm working. My time has already been wasted, and all I'm asking for is my money back. But here's where it gets crazy. The manager, Bethany, straight up tells me she can't give me a refund. No explanation, just a flat-out no. Instead, she offers to replace my food. But why would I want more of the same service that just made me want a refund in the first place? I tell her I'm not leaving the line until I get my money back. Suddenly, after all that back and forth, she went inside to get my refund, even though she just told me it wasn't possible. Make it make sense. Would you have handled this differently?
In Winder. So I ordered my food and it took them 15 minutes to get my order. I canceled my order because it took so long to get my order. Nobody came and brought me my order, so I wanted a refund. As soon as I tell them I want a refund, they bring the food.
Chaos in the cabin. As passengers boarded a flight from Dallas to LA, one man decided to upgrade himself by taking someone else's seat. Despite the rightful seat owner standing their ground, the man refused to move, declaring, "That's my seat. You don't like it? I don't care." Tensions escalated as a flight attendant attempted to resolve the issue, but the man remained defiant. "Call the police on me. I call the police on you," he shouted repeatedly, growing more agitated as authorities were called. Other passengers grew restless, clearly fed up with his ranting. The situation reached a breaking point when the flight crew announced that everyone had to deplane. Groans of frustration echoed through the cabin as travelers grabbed their belongings, worried about missed connections. Meanwhile, the man continued his tirade. "Take me off this plane. Your ass is going to federal court." Eventually, authorities arrived, and the unrelenting man was removed in a wheelchair. Though the flight was delayed for 45 minutes, he was not arrested. One selfish move turned a routine boarding into a mid-air meltdown, proving that seat disputes can ground everyone when it comes to flying. Conclusion. And there you have it, some of the most ridiculous male Karen meltdowns caught in action. If there's one thing we've learned, it's that some people just can't handle a simple no. Have you ever witnessed a customer freak out this bad? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wild stories.